Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you have pen and paper because I'm going to explain to you something that you weren't aware of.
Not a joke.
Welcome to another episode of Tinfoil Radio from Ashley. You're fine. Ashley's jealous of the bromance that's happening in the underground bunker, undisclosed.
Bunker with the damn NFL draft going on. God damn it.
Hey, you know, if you would have said that you could get a TV signal down here, I would have wanted to record the episode a day earlier.
It might look like where I'm sitting that I'm like, you know, putting my hand in front of my face so I can't look at you, but it's so I can't look at the TV.
As you know what, I appreciate it. Because if we don't record now, we're never going to record.
Also, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
What's going on with the conspiracies here? I heard something about Kim Jong-un being dead, but I didn't hear anything
He was
else.
terminal, on Monday,
Okay.
but there's reports saying that's not true.
Well, he doesn't have a butthole, so how can he be terminal?
Exactly, and that's what I'm thinking. And then there's the...
I don't have a butthole.
It's beautiful.
Thanks. What were you saying, though?
Well, I was saying it was also... You have like 4 or 5 coronavirus conspiracies that'll pop up on any given day, really.
Oh, shit.
It really feels like that.
How's everybody doing out there? You doing all right?
You doing okay?
Yeah, you doing okay?
You doing all right?
All right. You want a fruit cup?
Oh, you know what we should do? Make
What's
a
that?
tinfoil radio drinking game. Every time we mention coronavirus, should definitely be a drink.
Well, some weeks it's like, you know, I got a mild buzz, and other weeks, you know, you're dead. You know, like
Especially
the
2 coronavirus episodes.
You're dead within like 10 minutes. You're like, oh, well, I died.
Well, that's the point of a drinking game, Tyler.
No, it's not. The point of a drinking game is to be like, you wouldn't believe how much I drank, and here I am to tell you all about it. The other one is suicide, man. That's
Jesus
easy.
Christ. So let's talk about the Mothman, shall we?
Happy times. Yeah, let's talk about... Okay, so last week we talked about... I can't remember.
Well, the last few weeks have been
Last week
Alex
we had the
Jones.
crossover episode, right?
Yeah, we had Tiger King last week.
Yeah, that was cool. We had Paul.
Coronavirus stuff. So we're just trying to do something different this week.
Yeah.
That's something more fun.
I told him I'm not on board. Not quite on board. But that's okay, because you know what? I got a couple ideas coming up that I don't know if you're on board with. And that's okay. What's fun about this show is that we challenge each other, not least of which is me just starting to talk and him looking at me like, why are you talking when I want to talk? And I'm like, it's my turn to talk. And I'm just like, I'm just talking. You can't talk right now.
You can't
Because
stop.
I'm talking. No, I'm just kidding. But we had talked about this like a month ago or a couple months ago when we first started talking about the show. I remember you gave like 5 or 6 like different things we could talk about, and I remember Mothman was one of them. And I don't really know a lot about it. Like most of our topics, I just come in, you know, empty-headed and handed. But they had that movie with somebody,
Richard Gere.
and I don't know why, but I think Mothman and I think Candyman, and that shit is freaky. But Mothman
I'm bummed at the remake or the reboot, I guess. That got canceled or that got delayed. That sucks because I really wanted to see that movie.
I saw the preview and it
looks good.
fucking creepy.
It looks
it's
good.
the dude from
But-
Aquaman.
Yeah, but Mothman,
Is not. Yeah.
well, I wanted to do him because
Damn, that's weird.
I knew you'd make that joke. That's why I preemptively laughed at your bad joke. I knew you were gonna make it.
I'm amazing.
But I've always been fascinated by what Mothman is, and Mothman is in the category of cryptid. And
Yeah, I read that in the. What is that exactly? In that we're CRYPTID.
yeah.
Cryptid. Now, what is a cryptid?
A cryptid
It's
is
a creature.
yeah, it's a creature that exists in conspiracy theories, or it exists in the paranormal realm, or there's like Bigfoot's the Jersey Devil. You heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
That's a cryptid.
So a stray cat, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Jersey Devil.
It's a hockey. It's a hockey team, the Jersey Devils.
No, the
Yeah. And then there's like Bigfoot, which we'll cover Bigfoot because I really want to do Bigfoot because that.
My name is Daryl. That's a great commercial. I hate talking about commercials, and I hate that the insurance
The
commercials
Jax
are
Links messing with Sasquatch commercials are great.
funny. There's some really great commercials, but advertising is inherently evil, so it's hard for me to be like, that's a great
God,
commercial.
Tyler, take your stupid bleeding heart politics and shove them.
I'm gonna go ahead and stow my soapbox. So it is a cryptid. So okay, like a chupacabra. Would
Yeah,
that be,
chupacabra is a
okay,
cryptid.
A yeti
Mm-hmm.
or an abominable snowman
Yeah. All possible future
dragons.
episodes.
or dragons cryptids.
No, I don't really think so. They're just fantasy characters.
What about the Phantom of the Opera?
That's just a bad musical.
What about Ted Bundy?
Serial killer.
John Wayne.
Actor?
See, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, I think.
Why are we
okay,
playing word association games for
John
cryptids?
Wayne Gacy?
Serial killer?
Is
Psycho
that,
clown?
was that his name?
Yes, John Wayne Gacy.
Are you sure it wasn't something else?
No, that's the name.
What a creep. Huh?
Yeah, he's the psycho clown.
I don't know if it was John though. Whatever.
It was John Wayne Gacy.
Anyway,
He was from Iowa.
so
Anyway.
another cryptid armadillo. Would an armadillo be?
No, that's a fucking animal. How is
No.
that a cryptid?
How about a chimera?
We're not doing. Maybe.
Godzilla.
Oh my god, Chimera. That's gonna be a weird fucking episode.
So is
They're
Godzilla.
making human reptilian hybrids.
Whoa.
All right, so the Mothman actually had a very humble beginning for a cryptid. He was first. The first believed appearances of Mothman were in Point Pleasant, West Virginia,
Mhm.
which is a weird.
See, already,
Badge of
nothing's
honor to
going on
have.
there.
It's Appalachia. A lot of weird shit
I
happens
used to live
in
in
Appalachia.
Dude, not that much weird happens. It's just a lot of people drinking and being like, you wouldn't believe what I saw last
I
night.
saw this
Yeah?
Bigfoot.
Did your moonshine guy come in by last night before all that? Yeah, he did. How'd you know? Because you were fucking wasted and seeing shit.
Well,
Been there, done that. In Appalachia, too. Okay.
he actually got a good popularity. He even made it into the local paper, the Point Pleasant Register. This is the headline, and I'm
What are you
good.
talking? He even made the paper.
I'm doing my NPR voice. This is a Mothman episode.
Also,
Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
NPR, we will be talking to Placido Domingo about his new album, Hearts of Fire.
We will be next
an
week.
opera review of the Footloose soundtrack.
Oh, Tyler,
yes.
don't forget that we
A special
also.
tiny desk concert. What?
We're trying to go with the bit, and you
Have
ended
you-
it.
Oh, yes.
This is why we should rehearse our
Yes,
bits.
Jake, what were you about to say, Jake? To me,
I was just going to tease that we'd be talking to a medium that can speak with Elvis Presley's
do they
ghost.
talk like this?
Yes.
Are we going to be talking to them in this episode?
No.
Oh,
No, I mean, you thought I was being serious?
I don't know, man.
I mean,
Dude, you know what?
hit me up, internet.
Some of the most intelligent people I know are like, dude, Elvis was like fucking God, man. And they're like,
Hey.
really?
I ain't nothing but a god, man.
Oh my God. Don't with the
I personally don't get the mysticism behind Elvis.
he
He has some good songs. I don't get it.
that were stolen from black people.
You can tell how much you want to talk about Mothman because you keep talking about
I
Elvis.
thought
No.
you were. I thought somehow that Elvis Presley might be tied into the Mothman.
He's not. He's not.
Listen, Scylla, I was driving down the road.
Hey, man,
on my
I
way
saw a
back to Graceland.
Mothman.
And it had nothing to do with amphetamine, Scylla. Nothing. And
I wasn't on no
I
upper.
saw this thing. It was called a Mothman. And he said, "Listen, you're gonna make a song called a Hound Dog."
And you went, and you didn't see shit, man.
And listen,
You don't tell nobody.
and you ain't no friend of mine, okay? Elvis Presley.
I ain't nothing but a Mothman.
There are only two kinds of people who can do karate.
Flying
Chinese
all the time.
and me, Elvis Presley.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Learned that from
Yeah,
a
man.
Chinaman.
Yeah. No, I got that from Walk Hard.
Yeah, no, that's what he says.
Is that
I think that's what he said.
Walk Hard? Yeah.
No, yeah, it's
Yeah,
Jack
there's only
White.
two people who do karate. It's Chinese and me, Elvis Presley.
Oh, man. Anyway, he made appearances in the local paper with headlines such as, I'm going to read this like a old-timey newsman.
I was a teenage Mothman pregnancy.
Close. Couples see man-sized bird, creature, something. That's the exact headline.
The editor was sick that day.
Well, there's 3 or 2 ellipses in there, man. Man-sized.
You don't put fucking
Jesus, I didn't know you were so passionate
ellipses.
about journalism.
in a headline.
Don't get the
Listen,
Rona on my
If
microphones.
you are, okay, putting ellipses in a headline, that means you shouldn't be writing a headline. Period.
I don't know. We're
Hey,
not
Buckle.
we're not getting in that debate because I don't see a
I
problem.
was in
with
high
it.
school journalism. I know what the fuck I'm talking
I
about.
was too,
I read these
sir.
articles online from like these guys whose name, like, hey, I want to look and see who wrote this article so I can send them a little email and be like, hey, your grammar fucking sucks, dude, and also you don't know how to use like punctuation at all. And I'm like, who do I email this to? A first and a last name, and it's like fart 72 or something like. And I'm like, that's not even a name.
Tyler, was that your email address in high school?
Yeah.
Fart 72. Because it seems like a very
It
specific.
was actually fart stain 75. Yeah.
That's not 69.
At
All right.
AOL.com.
Oh, I still have a Hotmail. Yahoo.
At America Online.
Yahoo.com. The first sighting of the Mothman happened on November 12th, 1966.
Is that the first one?
Listen to this. Again, these stories of seeing the Mothman sound fucking weird when you think about them. So, the first sighting of Mothman, November 12th, 1966. Can you guess who spotted him? Just take a guess at what they were doing.
See, I read this. A cop, and they were drunk.
No, these 5 men were digging a grave in a cemetery.
Dateline, November 12th, 1966. 5 men digging a grave out in the cemetery.
I'm just saying this was a way to just... We're kind of just like, this whole story is crazy because then I'll explain the most common believed sighting is even weirder. But
Was
anyway...
alcohol the cause of these monkey shines?
Probably. So...
In Appalachia, digging a grave. Okay, first of all...
In Clendon, West
whoever
Virginia.
Whoever the grave you're digging is probably for somebody you killed, okay? On purpose or accident, whichever. And definitely alcohol is involved. So, yeah, like, hey, guys, if we...
It sounds like a
make up
mafia
this
hit.
shit-
Why are 5 men burying a grave, like digging a grave?
You mean mafia hit?
What did I say?
No, you said mafia, but I
Oh.
said mafia, like mothman.
Oh, mafia. He's in the mafia.
Are you in the mafia?
He. Look what they do to my boy.
Hey, look at...
From Nebraska, do you
Hey,
know that?
listen, man. Listen, I'll tell you what.
Why is Elvis back?
We kill.
You gotta listen
we
to the
killed-
Mothman.
We killed this guy. Well, we got to dig a grave.
It
for
was
him,
me,
Okay?
it was Buddy
me
Holly.
and Buddy Holly, and Elvis Presley, and Neil Young,
Who's the guy who sang La Bamba?
and Richie Valens,
Yeah.
and the Big Bopper.
We're all hanging out,
Chantilly
digging a
legs,
grave.
pretty face, ponytail hanging down. No, so listen, we killed
We
this
gotta-
guy,
we
and we're
gotta
about to dig the grave.
stop.
Okay, sorry.
We gotta stop. We gotta stop the Elvis thing because we'll
No,
never.
I wasn't. I was gonna do like impressions of the guys.
Oh, I wasn't gonna do it. Anyway,
He's good. He's a good fella.
they witnessed a large man-like creature fly low over the trees and over their heads. Again, I still think how does one just say, hey, yeah, we were just me
Yeah,
and 4
man.
other guys
Yeah,
were
we were just chilling.
digging a grave.
Digging a grave, hanging down.
Ponytail. It's catchy, I'll give you that. Just a few days later, on November 15th, 2 young couples believed they witnessed a sight of the Mothman. a sighting of the Mothman.
Again, like, what is happening? Like, is anybody dying?
Can we talk about this? Two young couples, not a young couple. It's these fuckers are swinging.
I was actually thinking for a second that you were like, listen, this is important, and you were going to give me some actual important information. And instead, you were like, two young couples. And I'm like, just throwing my fucking pen across.
No.
Fucking shit.
This is the thing why there's a problem with this story of Mothman, because the first two sightings of him, people are in very precarious situations because there's 5 guys digging a grave and there's 2 young couples that are going out to this place that's called the TNT area, which is like it's a big wildlife reserve, and it's also like a makeout place. So they were swinging. And they're like, how do we get out of this? I don't know. Tell them the story of the Mothman.
Listen, I'm going to make out with your girlfriend and you make out with my girlfriend. I was actually hoping that you and I could make out. What?
I want to point out there's no proof to this. This is all just me just making a joke. I don't know if they really were swinging, but I'm just saying.
Listen,
you don't double date and make out point.
After I have sex with your girlfriend, would it be all right if you put your tongue in my butthole?
Jeez. I'm going to say no to that, Tyler.
Hard pass. That's what I was hoping you'd say. Hard pass.
My safe word is keep going. Have you seen that movie?
Dung.
Anyway.
What's brown and sounds like a bell? Dung. Okay.
Jesus. Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Millette said they saw a large gray creature with eyes that glowed red. They described it as a, quote, large flying man with 10-foot wings. What? Mary also said that Mothman let out a high-pitched noise like a big mouse, or like, or something like that. I don't know.
Mary also said, hey, I'll suck your dick for a taste. Because she's clearly a crackhead.
He was a big mouse, man.
Holy shit, man.
Linda.
Hey, I'll give you 2 cheeseburgers, man.
Linda Scarberry was so spooked, she went on to say, quote, I wish we had never seen it. I wish someone else had seen it.
Yeah, because God forbid you shut the fuck up about it and never say anything about it ever.
Dude, this...
Like, I need attention.
Here's how I look at this. I made the joke, but I really think it's true. I think people were trying to get out of precarious situations. But I don't know if people's imaginations are that active enough to create a Mothman to get out of a way to say that you could possibly be swinging.
Well, okay, yeah.
I get it that it's the 60s, but...
But were they caught? I mean, were the guys digging the grave caught? No, I think they dug their grave, they saw a dude, and then they finished doing what they were doing.
Might have just been a guy in a jacket or something.
Well, it doesn't matter because they weren't caught. If they were caught...
Could it have been Elvis Presley?
Hey, man, what you guys digging the grave for, man? I'm already buried down here.
You know where I can get some peanut butter banana sandwiches?
Peanut butter banana?
Grilled?
Crust cut off.
Oh,
Toast
yeah.
that shit.
I think the dog?
Did I fart?
I think the dog farted. No, I didn't fart.
Did I fart? Pretty face.
I farted so hard I died.
Hanging down,
Anyway.
wiggle and a walk.
So according to the couples,
Yes.
it followed their car while driving into the TNT
Is this
area.
okay.
It's the Scarberries and the Millettes. So this was there's a wildlife reserve that was also happened to be a site of a World War II munitions site.
So that's where people went and make out.
Yeah.
You know, this is in Appalachia too?
Yeah.
That just tells you what kind of homes they have. Poor.
Oh yeah.
Under poor.
I've always wanted to go to
I
West
lived
Virginia.
there, man.
I want to go to West Virginia because I wanted to see what
Are
John
you
Denver
sure?
was talking about. You never wanted to visit? It's mountains. You don't want to go hang out in a mountain range?
West Virginia, mountain mama.
So
yeah.
the sheriff and a few deputies investigated the TNT area, and while they didn't see the Mothman, one deputy reported that he saw what looked like shadows circling around him. And he said multiple policemen had issues with the radios, like interference, like it was like getting feedback or static and causing problems.
Did anybody die because of the feedback?
No. A cryptid doesn't have to kill someone.
I need them to. Right.
Why
now.
are you so bloodthirsty? The Rona's changed you,
You're
man.
making me fucking talk about the Mothman during the draft. I hate you.
Anyway.
I don't hate you. But okay, so I guess my question is like, what? Okay, so did you see the movie The Mothman Prophecies?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so I don't know what's going on in the Mothman Prophecies.
I'll explain later what it's like. I didn't really dive deep into it, but essentially what it was, and we'll touch on this more later. But Mothman shows up, and he can. When he shows up, you know tragedy's coming. It's pretty much the whole
So he's a harbinger.
harbinger of tragedy. Yeah, some shit. So the officers checked that out. They didn't see
If you catch
anything.
him, do you get gold or anything?
Like a leprechaun?
I don't fucking know. There's got to be something more to the thing. I mean, it's just, hey man, I saw the Mothman. Oh, well,
I
looks
can't-
like that bid on eBay isn't gonna go through for you today. Fucking tragedy, man.
You know, for you to just beat down a cryptid that I like just really hurts, man.
I really wanted that fucking clown car. I thought my bid was good.
So more
What
sightings.
is that noise? Is that me? Did I eat beanie weenies again today? No. What is that?
There's a car outside.
Oh, what, dude? Get your shit.
I
checked.
think it's one of my neighbors who's got a BMW
your shit
that
checked.
really wants everybody in the neighborhood to know that he has a BMW. So anyway, more sightings started to crop up after that.
Folks, that's what's known as a jackass.
Possibly due to the coverage of the two couples in the local paper. So maybe because of that, we start seeing more people saying, hey, I saw the Mothman. So Mason County Sheriff George Johnson claimed that the sightings were actually just an oversized heron bird that he
Hair up
called
their ass.
shite poke.
What?
Shite poke. SHITE poke. I would have just said shit poke. Why is it shite poke? Local contractor Newell Partridge.
Oh, he said it was like a particular bird.
Yeah. A heron bird is like a large gray bird.
Heroin bird.
I thought it said heroin when I typed it. I was like, wait a
I'm
minute.
trying to chase this bird, but I can never catch it.
Just like my dragon. Local contractor Newell
Ride the snake.
Partridge saw the creature and shone a flashlight on it, and they looked like, quote,
And it shriveled up like a pair of old man's balls in the cold.
no, they actually look like bicycle reflectors. Shiny.
What, the eyes?
Yeah.
Or what?
Why would it be his balls? Why would he shine the light on the Mothman's balls? Whose balls are we talking about?
Hey, man. I just wanted to see what gender you were. I'm gender fluid, asshole.
Are you
okay?
Mothman or Mothwoman?
What century is this? Is it 21st century? I'm gender fluid. Oh, okay, that's cool.
Keep in mind, though, about Newell, he's not a very credible
do you have
source because he said that
the person who to give this account,
who apparently saw Mothman's balls, according to Tyler.
they reflect.
You ever seen shiny balls, man?
They are fucking crazy, man. I wish I had my camera. True story. The damn things were shiny.
He blamed the buzzing on his the sound of his TV on the Mothman, and he also blamed the missing dog.
It had
his
nothing
missing
to do
dog as
with
well.
how much mescaline I had taken the day before at all.
What? So, so here's how we get into some more thoughts of Mothman being a prophet of tragedy or a harbinger of tragedy. It starts with
doom.
beware.
Beware
It's
the Ides of March.
so the collapse of the Silver Bridge is where this really happened. So the Silver Bridge was a suspension bridge built in 1928, and its name was based on the color of its aluminum. Fun fact. It is a bridge that is used on the U.S. route, however you say it, 35.
However you want to say it, man.
Exactly.
It's regional.
And it connected Point Pleasant
Regional dialect.
and Gallipolis. You know this is an Ohio town. G-A...
Gallipolis.
Yeah, I don't believe you. Gallipolis, Ohio. Anyway, it connected West Virginia and Ohio on December 15th, 1967. The bridge collapsed under the weight of rush hour traffic.
The bridge collapsed under the weight of my awesomeness.
Well, 46 people died, Tyler, so. I wish you could see the look on his face.
What was the bridge that you were talking about again? What was it called?
The Silver Bridge.
No, I was talking about the Copper Bridge. Nobody died. And it was scheduled for demolition anyway. So they're like, hey, man, can you just go stand on there and be like, awesome? And I was like, yeah.
So 2 of the victims were never found.
Let me keep the copper.
Later investigation shows that the bridge was carrying too much weight. It wasn't properly designed for it.
See?
Or
that's just human error. Okay.
Or is that what they want you to think, Tyler? What if it was the Mothman?
Listen, you guys, we're a government agency and we're tasked with making sure that bridges stay up and that they don't get too much weight on them and shit. I heard about this thing called the Mothman. Do you think maybe if we use that, people won't...
Yeah, we start stirring up some...
People won't actually key on the fact that we're fucking stupid and horrible at our jobs and we should probably be brought up on criminal charges. I like it, Stan. You get a promotion. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, exactly what happens.
Yeah, exactly what happened.
But here's the
criminal charges for
It was
Bob
the
and Stan.
Mothman because many believe the Mothman is kind of like a prophet.
So where was the Mothman seen before this bridge collapsed?
This is 1967.
Okay.
About
nobody had cell phone cameras or what the hell, man? Come on.
The first
1967, whatever.
The first 2 sightings were in November of 1966. So, and there have been multiple sightings since. So he was still in the back of West Virginians' minds. So maybe, they should have paid attention.
West Virginia.
Country roads.
Hey, listen, man. Do you remember that thing that happened a year ago? That
Mothman?
That cool thing that was like the coolest thing to happen in like years?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, it's in the back of your mind too? Cool. Let's get drunk again.
And talk about the Mothman?
Let's shoot something.
Hope we get that Mothman. No, actually, that's the thing. When they first heard about that, a lot of locals actually went out into the TNT area to hunt it, to shoot it, to kill the Mothman.
You know what? Let's go hunting in a fucking munitions area.
Well,
like with a bunch of were there mines and shit all over there?
No, it was an
old.
old
where they tested.
Well, and then they converted it into a wildlife reserve.
Okay, so there were no more bombs and stuff.
No, it's just animals
that we know of.
Yeah, that we know of.
But yeah,
children. People are going out there, and it's like, what a bunch of idiots.
I want to make something clear. I did live in Ohio, southeastern Ohio, for about 2 years, and we did go to West Virginia every once in a while. And just to say, I am making a lot of light. And I'm using caricatures to make this episode more interesting to me. Sorry, Jake. But I want to...
you're about to get tickled by... I'm going to tickle your
I want to
interest.
make sure that people understand that I'm doing a caricature of something that is a stereotype of like the typical like backwoods redneck hick. Okay. No, not everybody that lives in West Virginia or Iowa or southeastern Ohio is like that. But it's fun. So if you're offended, but if you're from West Virginia, you're like, I'm never listening again. Well, think about how you said it and realize that your accent is exactly. Listen, I
feel bad. You know what? I feel bad for West Virginians. They were probably looking forward to a Mothman episode. They listened to it and they're like, man, this is great, Mothman. I love hearing about him.
If he says something about the Mountaineers being shit, I'm turning this fucking podcast off.
That is the lie.
Faster than Mike Leach can wax his hair, all right? That's not Mike Leach, is it? Who's West Virginia? Who cares?
It was
Stan the Man Musial.
He's in he coaches Houston now. I can't think of his name. Anyway, Dana Holgren? No, Dana
Hoagland.
No,
Hogerland.
I don't care. Anyway,
right?
College
football.
Mary Hire, the Mothman, and the Men in Black. I put this in here because this is obviously the most interesting Mothman story, and Mothman really isn't even in it that much.
And listeners, pay close attention to one of the elements of this particular story.
Okay, so
go, Jake, go.
In the short time that we have done this show, there are a handful of things relating to conspiracy. The Mothman is no different, and somehow he's tied to multiple UFO sightings. I couldn't find a ton specifics on there. I mean, I probably could have if I maybe have read the Mothman prophecies, or it took a lot of digging to get some of this information, to be honest. And maybe if I read that book, I would know. But there are a lot of different weird things happening in West
God forbid
Virginia.
Jake does, research.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway. But
I
all I
didn't
know
use
is
that.
like the most vaguest terms of it is that he is somehow tied with these tragedies and he's tied to these UFOs. He is just a boogeyman for West Virginia. Like, ooh, the big scary thing. It really took off with Mary Heyer. She was a reporter for the Athens.
She was higher, all right.
I guess.
Hey,
No, it's Athens.
Athens, Ohio?
Messenger, yeah.
oh yeah, dude.
It's
I lived in Athens, Ohio.
Yeah. She had an office downtown in Point Pleasant. So she wrote many articles about the UFO sightings and how it could be the Mothman and vice versa. This would gain the attraction of author John Keel, which is the author of the Mothman prophecies. But more importantly, it would attract a shadowy government organization, or maybe it isn't even the government, the Men in Black. What? No, not Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones.
No, not even close. In fact,
That's
we're
not even the same
talking
thing.
real shit.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So this
Fairly entertaining movies,
yes.
but not what the Men in Black are. It's kind of like when you see something in the MCU on screen. Every time you see something on screen in the MCU, you're like, "Oh, that's really cool." Every time I see something on the screen in the MCU, I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, if you want, I can show you how they looked in the comic books." Okay, cool. Yeah, it's close, but it's not. Yeah.
My ear. Sorry, my earbuds are messing with my ears.
Eh, my ear-
So Mary was working late one night in January 1967 when a man in a black suit and short, black, thick glasses. He had covered. I misread this sentence. I'm so sorry. So it was a man in a black suit with short, black, and thick glasses that covered his, quote, strange eyes.
So how did she fucking know he had strange eyes if he was wearing?
Came
some
into her
don't,
office.
Don't.
I'm assuming. I don't know.
No, keep going.
They probably glowed through the
Like-
sunglasses. He initially asked her for directions. Mary gave them, and then when he was asking for directions, he kept getting closer and closer and closer to Mary's face, like uncomfortably
And
close.
in this time, it's a good thing it was 1967 because in 2020, you might get killed for that. Like get away from me.
Yeah, so
You're way closer than 6
he
feet.
got uncomfortably close to her, and then he asked her why she wrote those articles with the UFOs and the Mothman. So this, of course, spooked Mary, and she had to grab another employee and bring them into the room. Mary took a call and noticed the man in black grabbing a ballpoint pen and was just like fucking blown away by it. Never seen this before in his life is what it, he was just so fascinated by this thing. The man then laughed and left the office with the pen still in his hand.
Ah!
That's probably what he sounded like.
Wait till I show it to Agent K.
But because there was multiple sightings and multiple people talking about Mothman,
Multiple pens were missing.
multiple pens was missing, and then it turned into a giant pen rocket that they shot into the...
I can't find a fucking ballpoint that day for my life.
What happened?
It was like the whole town had just been bought out of
Are we
ballpoints.
having a shortage?
Then we saw somebody having sex with a ballpoint pen, which was weird because, how do you do that, really? You kind of just have to shove it out the pee hole,
There's really only one way.
It's-
Or your butt.
Oh,
So Mary wasn't the only citizen of Point Pleasant that was being visited by the men in black. Some strange men in groups of 2 or 3 would show up in witnesses' houses and claim they were from the gas and water companies. So this is where it's really fucking creepy. That it's like the men in black are so interesting, and we're gonna get there. I know Mothman is your little appetizer, and we're going to have the buffet of men in
This is
black.
like a crab rangoon, but it's gross because moths are like dirty.
Exactly.
So it's like imagine a crab rangoon, but instead of crab, it's like everything inside, but it's instead of crab, it's like moth wings, like those dirty, dusty.
So these guys would show up,
Mm.
groups of 2 or 3, say they were the gas or water companies,
They
maybe
would jump out of the ark.
They would go down in the basements of witnesses' homes for long amounts of time. So it was so long.
And nobody gave a shit. Nobody was like,
No,
hey, what the fuck are
the
you doing?
owners eventually were like, okay, this is kind of weird. And they go down to the basement and they go to check on them and then they're gone.
And so are all their stocks and bonds. And their children.
You know what the craziest thing about this
And
is?
their jams. What?
Mary wasn't the only person in her family to have an experience with the Men in Black.
Well, that's
and
just
Mothman.
That's mental illness running in the family is all that is, really, when you think about it. I mean, it's not, listen, my aunt also had the same thing, so it's real. That doesn't tell me it's real. That tells me that you guys have some shit going on.
This is the thing. I don't know what to believe. Like, the Men in Black, when we're going to get to next week, is really going to question
Reality.
Yeah, in a way, because like some of this,
Which is why I really want to do this show.
And-
Because
but-
I am a big fan of perception as reality.
yeah. Well, but this is the crazy thing, though. I don't think Mary talked to these other people. These
Probably not.
exactly. So how did this? Unless they were connected to Mary by being Mothman, people that had the sightings that they saw it or whatever. But other than that, why would they go to other citizens in Point Pleasant? And are they trying to dig it up to like I don't know. It's such a weird thing where it's so weird that it has to be fiction,
Such a weird vibe, man.
but it's also so like
It's trippy, man.
mind blowing that it could be
Whoa.
true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I kind of could believe these people, but
I mean, I found in my friends older brother's room, I found this baggie and it was full of these. It looked like mushrooms, but I mean, it actually looked like dirt. But I was like, oh, they're in a baggie and stuff, so I ate them. And then the next thing I know, I lost 12 hours of my life. It was awesome though. I saw a unicorn.
which is the Men in Black.
Yeah,
The Men in Black. It took
the
that
Men in
time
Black
from
came
you.
to me, and even though they were wearing sunglasses, I was like, he had the strangest eyes.
Now
How could you tell that he had
Tyler.
strange?
Save that because that could be your own. That could be a Tyler own conspiracy episode where you talk about how the Men in Black are like the drug police, where if you take psychedelics, that's when they show up, and that's the only time you see them.
Don't say that shit, man. 'Cause I was literally just thinking I wonder, it's been a while since I did shrooms, and it was like that sounds. And then all of a sudden, Dickhead over here is like, the Men in Black are going to show up the next time you trip and be like, but it's not actually going to be the Men in Black. It's going to be Jake. In a black suit and black sunglasses.
They're gonna
going,
show up to your
"Hey,
house.
man, what's going on?" He's gonna shave literally this whole beard off, just for that. So I literally won't be able to tell it's him because I've never seen him without one. And then I'm gonna hate him forever.
And I'm gonna pull out.
Seriously, that sucked, man. Oh no. Tripping balls and yeah, this is fucking.
And then
great.
just a dude in a black suit shows
My
up.
name is Smith.
He shows up with a with a ballpoint pen.
I need you to take a test.
Mr.
It's an
Anderson.
essay test.
Mr. Allen.
Somebody gets on a bus.
He takes you and he puts you in his black van.
The bus goes 12 miles and picks up 4 passengers and deposits 2.
How many did they? Are you trying to do a math problem?
No, yeah. God damn it, I'm tripping and you want me to do math? I hate you, Men in Black.
So Connie
Ruined my trip.
Connie Carpenter was the niece of Mary Hire, and she had a very detailed encounter with Mothman.
Hey, if you want to hire a carpenter, I know
Call
where to
Connie. November 27th,
Call Mary's cousin, Connie. Mary Hire.
the Mothman lady.
Connie Carpenter.
Her niece.
She's not actually a carpenter.
So November 27th, 1966, Connie was driving home from church that Sunday morning when she witnessed what she thought was a man in a gray suit standing by the Mason County golf
See,
course.
that's weird because it should be Men in Black. You guys should talk and get your story straight.
Well, the Mothman is gray or black.
Oh, so she's talking about not...
She saw,
okay.
this is her seeing the Mothman.
In a gray suit, though? What was he had, his wings, folded up around him? I mean, I'm
Yeah.
assuming he has wings.
Yeah. He has 10-foot wings.
Because, I mean, clearly he's drinking Red Bull.
Just fucking
Give us an
smashing them
endorsement.
every day.
I will take... you know what? I fucking hate that shit, but I will take an
Hey,
endorsement.
don't hate on Red Bull. I like Red Bull.
No, hey, you know what? I like my kidneys in my teeth, so I don't like Red Bull, but I'll take an endorsement from him.
You drink more soda than any human should, so don't start with me, sir. Do not.
Did you see the water bottle I have?
Yeah. Oh, good job, buddy. You remember to hydrate. See, I can be mean.
I
too.
drank about 4 of those today.
Water bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at you go. All
I
right.
had kidney stones a year ago, man. I'm not gonna fuck around with that shit again.
Jesus.
That was a lot of that was caffeine. So
Anyway,
TMI, bro.
that happened to my dad.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Connie says the man unfurled
His wiener.
his 10-foot wings, not wiener.
Wiener!
His 10-foot wiener. Good lord.
Holy shit!
What is it with you in Mothman's genitalia? You were talking about his balls earlier, now you're talking about his ding dong.
I wonder what his pubes look like. Are they coarse? Are they?
Are they coarse? Are they coarse?
Are they?
Are they
curly?
talons?
Are they curly?
Are they feathers? What are they?
Does he shave?
I feel like you would see it because I mean, doesn't really.
You wouldn't even see it,
see
man.
a-
Look. Let's be realistic, okay?
is
About
what this episode-
Mothman, you wouldn't be able to see his genitalia. Like none of this is realistic at all. But you're like Jake. Let's be realistic about.
Mothman's real. I don't know what you're talking about.
And his genitalia are clearly covered by curly feathers.
He's got shiny reflective
Are we talking, like,
testicles
you
and
know-
a 10-foot ding dong. Right? These are facts. This is what Mothman
Are we talking
is.
like Brillo pad pubes? Ow! 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 Fuck!
Jesus. So anyway, he unfurled his wings.
It's like going down on a porcupine.
Jesus. I find I'm at the one interesting part of the story for you, and you just talking about.
I'm sorry, I had to go on my once a week dirtiness. I'm
Oh,
done.
yeah. Yeah.
It's a running theme in our show.
Going blue right there. Blue balls.
Wow.
Look at me go.
So most
Connie,
interesting part.
so he unfurls his wings, and then he just bolts at Connie's car. And so as Mothman was flying towards her, she locked eyes with Mothman's piercing red eyes through her windshield. Then Mothman pulled up like that. Sound effect for you.
That was a fucking. That was talk about a word picture.
Thank you.
I got a little scared.
Theater of the mind. And it was right
Theater
up,
of the mind.
pulled up, flew away
Uh-huh.
right before he would have hit the car. So again, this is what I like about Mothman, because if it's told by the right person, he can sound pretty cool and creepy. That's why I kind of dig him, and that's why I'm excited to do Men in Black, because we haven't done like spooky conspiracy theories yet. And Mothman, while he is silly, is kind of a spooky conspiracy theory. All cryptids are weird. So Connie was horrified by the
All
experience.
those cryptids, man. Those are weird guys.
Talk
man.
about a weird group of
They're
kids.
so weird. Hey, let's watch some Roman Polanski films. What? Why?
Cryptids.
Why? Okay. Whatever, cryptids. Hey, let's drink absinthe. Why? Beer's good. Whiskey's good.
Are your friends the cryptids? God damn it, Sassy. That's what you call a Sasquatch.
Put down the Pilsner.
You and Abe need to calm down.
Put down the American spirits and the Pilsner. And cover your fucking mouth. Jesus.
Abby over here. Abby, the abominable snowman. Call him Abby.
So Daryl.
What if it was just Daryl?
From the Progressive
Mothman is
commercial,
just Daryl.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? What's up, Daryl? Hey, how's it going? Have you seen my wings?
Stop bringing up the progressive shit. Anyway, I will say this too. If you think about Mothman, moths themselves
Are dirty.
dirty, but they're creepy looking.
Yeah.
Now imagine them 10, like up to 7 feet tall.
Okay, so
with
that's what I
10-foot
don't
wings.
understand. Does Mothman have like a face like a moth? Or a head like a moth?
Yeah,
Because that's
he has
fucking
these
creepy.
two. Have you not seen pictures of Mothman? I'll show
I
you a
haven't.
picture.
Okay, he's going to scare the shit out of me now.
I'm gonna show you
And I'm
the
not
thumbnail
gonna be-
that we're gonna use for this
I'm not
episode.
going to be able to poop ever again in life.
Oh,
because
I
he
mean,
just-
I
he's
don't
going
know
to show me
about
a
that.
picture so scary that my fingers...
Here we go. That's the picture I used. Pretty creepy.
Yeah, I guess, but he's going to eat you or anything? Or are you just going to escape? like,
Sorry
you know?
for listeners out there.
It's not that-
If you follow us on social media, It'll be up there. That'll be the thumbnail.
It's a cool picture.
It's a dope picture.
Dope.
Dope.
Listen, it's not just cool. It's dope.
It's dope.
There's a reason why they call it dope, Jake.
Why? Dope. Nope. So, Connie was horrified by this experience, and she kept repeating, those eyes, to her boyfriend. Later in
Who
life...
probably broke up with her because he was like, what the fuck? I just wanted to Netflix and chill.
You keep talking about eyes.
In 1966.
What's streaming, babe, in 1966?
Only Back to the Future. That's it.
Oh man, I'm so glad the new season of Leave It to Beaver's out so I could binge watch it.
How's Ma Kettle going to come back from that cancer diagnosis? I don't know. I got nothing. Okay.
So anyway, she said, those eyes. Later in life, Connie would suffer from...
Have you seen Lassie season 3 yet? Holy fuck. Okay, sorry.
Tell me to go.
Go. Sorry.
No, Dad, she's my dog.
We're going to the Upside Down in Lassie. Okay. Hooper. Okay.
I thought my dog would wake up because Cooper.
No.
Hooper sounds close to Cooper.
Isn't Hooper a guy in that? I don't watch.
It's
Stranger
Hopper.
Things. Whatever.
Hooper. Anyway,
Okay, go ahead.
she suffered from Klieg conjunctivitis. This is a condition of swollen or
Conjunctivitis is by the way, the technical term for pink eye.
Yeah, it's pretty much. She got like a severe case of pink eye, and she can really. It's because usually this happens because of overexposure to UV rays, and of course people think this is because of when she saw Mothman, his eyes were so strong it was like blasting her eyes with a UV ray. I don't know, man. Pretty convenient.
Really?
Yeah. It's pretty convenient that she has.
Pretty convenient. I'd say it's decidedly inconvenient. Thanks, Andy Dufresne.
Andy Dufresne. So
He
after
crawled through 5 football fields full of stinking shit I can't imagine. Andy
is
Dufresne.
your Morgan Freeman?
My friend.
My friend.
I hope to see him there.
After her
Say what to Neo.
So here's a part that'll make you interested again. So, after her experience with Mothman, the men in black decided to pay her a visit. Connie was on her way to school when a man in a black car asked her for directions. Again, stop giving these fuckers directions. If a man in
I
a
thought he was
black
like yelling at me because I'm laughing. Like,
no, if a man in a black suit, the strange man in a black suit asks you for directions, do not engage.
Right?
Because they're going to fuck your life up.
I don't get accosted by enough murderous psychopaths. I am going to help the next guy that pulls up in his car to do whatever. Help him move a couch. Directions. Help me find my puppy. Whatever. Candy. Candy's good. I like candy. Sure.
So Connie came over to help the man with directions, and then he grabbed her and tried to.
Same Connie?
Yeah, the girl that saw Mothman.
What the fuck is wrong with her?
She got visited by the men in black.
She sucks. Connie, stay the fuck home. You know what? She'd be one of those idiots out protesting. Like, I want to be outside, giving weird people in cars directions.
I want a haircut.
I want stuff later in life that's going to make my eyes all weird.
I want the Elvis album.
I'm all wearing blue suede shoes.
That I can't wear because I'm quarantined.
Listen here, so
Just
just
jacking it during quarantine time. Doodle-doo-doo-doo.
Everybody on the wholesale block had COVID-19. Now we're dead.
A pandemic. If we ever do anything musically, we have to.
Wise men say only fools get COVID-19.
I was gonna say.
I can't help staying at home with you.
Yeah.
But
Dude, so, by the way, somebody is just waterfalling a drink right now because we just did a whole COVID-19 album.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Shit. If you are doing... Did we talk about that at the beginning of the show?
Yeah, we did.
I can't remember. I know we talked about it, but I didn't know if we started the show off or not because oftentimes...
I just hit record.
Well, yeah, also, I'm throwing the whole damn thing out of whack. So, Jake's just trying to get through his little, rundown here. So,
we're winding down here a little bit. So, the Mothman prophecies, you were asking about that movie. It was based on, it was fiction, but it was based around the stuff that Mary would talk about with her articles about the UFO sightings and the Mothman. So it's essentially a collection of stories, like I said, of Mary's and John's, with a little bit more fiction thrown in. 2002, it became a movie loosely based on the book of the same name. I don't really touch on the Mothman prophecies because I really don't care. So, Mothman...
Because I don't give a fuck.
Mothman the Prophet.
You just poked me in the fucking face, man.
So, as we stated earlier, some people believe that Mothman can be a prophet of great tragedy, or a harbinger of tragedy, as you eloquently put it.
I read a lot of comic books. It's a comic book.
Starting with the Silver Bridge collapse. So, here are a couple sightings that led to tragic events that they think are tied to Mothman. September 10th, 1978, a group of miners in Germany reported seeing a creature that fits the Mothman criteria. According to witnesses, the creature with piercing red eyes was at the entrance of the mine. Stunned at what they were witnessing, the creature let out a howl, maybe the sound I made earlier. Oh no, it's the Mothman.
Oh look, Dieter, it's the Mothman.
Oh,
Now's
no.
the time on Sprockets when we dance.
Scheiße.
Oh, Scheiße, mein Kopf tut mir weh.
Oh, jeez.
That means my head hurts. It's like a phrase.
I thought you said Mein Kampf, and I was like, whoa.
No, mein Kopf.
Oh, gotcha.
K-O-P-F. Whoa, no.
No. So the screech scared them.
Sorry. No.
And they ran away. An hour later, the
screech scared them.
oh shit!
Scheiße.
About
Where do we go, Dieter?
an hour later, the miners reported missing.
A
The
sandwich.
The miners reported seeing, not missing.
I lost my bratwurst and Braunschweiger sandwich.
You don't forget the sauerkraut.
That's a tragedy. That's a tragedy in Germany.
Who really died today? My lunch.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna break like these microphones, smacking the table.
So feeling a rumble.
That was fucking great. My lunch. Next week on Masterpiece Theater. My lunch. A death of a salesman.
So after the screech
Broadway
happens, they run away. They come back about an hour later, and there was a huge plume of dust. Not plum. A plume of dust.
A poop. A poo.
And then
poo?
it said the mine collapsed. So they think
Anybody die?
Mothman showed up, screeched at him, and then the mine
Anybody
collapsed. I do not have numbers on if somebody actually
Fuck,
died,
man.
but
So I don't care about
the encounter is known as the Friedberg Schrecker.
the Freiburg Schrecker, where I lost my lunch. My Braunschweiger.
Okay, he saved their lives. Okay, I'm sick of you slandering Mothman.
You're like, dude, look, hey. Look,
He shows up, he
hold up.
squeaks, and they freak out and they leave the mine. The mine collapsed. They would have died.
Fuck the Mothman. I don't even know what his goddamn agenda is. I don't know if he's supposed to be scary, if he's supposed to be pissy, if he's supposed to be whiny, if he's supposed to be a bitch, if he's supposed to be. I gotta be. Here are some of the events that Mothman appeared before that kind of show. That when Britney Spears shaved her head that one time,
It was the Mothman.
Mothman showed up just before that. Right
If
before.
if you look closely in the frame,
Right before
you just see
Vince Neil and Razzle Dingley,
We're not talking about this.
um,
When they killed that guy.
when that happened, Mothman. Right
Tyler,
before
you're missing the point. If you look at the crime scene photo of that, and then you look at the paparazzi pictures. Very faintly in the background, you can see some red glowing eyes and what looks to be a Mothman being like, I wouldn't have done that. Hey, I'm the Mothman.
I'm the Mothman.
2011, Marcus Pulls was in Japan when he witnessed a Mothman-like creature around the Fukushima power plant before the earthquake.
What?
Fukushima.
Oh,
It was the one that got melted down after the earthquake.
It was the one that
the one that the little radiation.
Yeah, schmuck. Okay.
But he said he saw that, and according to him, he saw the creature perched on top of one of the buildings. It unfurled its wings and circled the plant several times. Pulls then claimed that he noticed the creature had huge red glowing eyes and
What? Wow.
huge red glowing balls.
They were reflective.
So anyway, it scared him away, and
covered in- yes.
he wasn't there when the nuclear power plant meltdown in Fukushima.
Okay, so now he's like a hero. What is he now?
Who is Mothman? You know,
I
that's
don't-
just,
I'm
so.
kind of yeah. I
In
mean,
2017, he blew up again.
pick one. He blew up again.
Reemergence
okay.
in 2017. So in 2017, Chicago had a resurgence of viewings of Mothman.
'Cause they were fucking
55 in total. Here are a few examples of these cases, and some of these are direct quotes. And I wanted to make
Correlation.
sure that you knew what happened with these, because some of these are funny. So here we go. This is the first one. Happened to be with a witness that was hanging out on Lake Michigan with her husband and a few other couples. So swingers again.
Jesus Christ, man! What is with these preverts?
Mothman knows if you're
These fucking
swinging.
preverts, man.
So anyway, they were celebrating a birthday. Celebrating a birthday with air quotes.
Celebrating a birthday is swinger talk
For
for
fucking
anal sex
maybe. So this is
while the ladies watch.
this is a witness quote. We were yeah, pretty much. We were at about 2 miles on the lake, just off of Montrose at about 10 p.m. Montrose.
Right when I pulled out the butt plug.
We were enjoying ourselves.
The butt plug. It's code for butt plug.
Okay, we're gonna say that is yeah. This is all speculation, but
Speculation is here.
we were enjoying
I'm
ourselves.
speculating that it was about 5 inches long.
We were enjoying ourselves
Butt plug.
with a butt plug when I happened to look up and saw what looked like a giant bat, and not like a fox bat, which this is in parentheses in this, which I looked up and saw was the biggest bat. So it wasn't that. This bat was as tall as my husband, who is 6 foot 4 inches, or even bigger.
He was bigger than my husband.
I mean, she saw the 10-foot dong. You're right. Yeah, gotta keep going with that. Shut up.
The butt plug came in handy at that point.
It was solid black with eyes that seemed to reflect the moonlight.
Sure was solid black.
This bat was blacker than the surrounding night sky.
It was blacker than a Mississippi night.
What is that from?
I don't know, but
I feel like I've heard
this is
that.
just perverted. Why are we still talking
We're
about
not done here.
this? Oh, yeah. Oh, just a couple more puns.
So he was as black as the surrounding night sky. It was
I'm
perfect.
almost there. Oh, my God. Keep just a little longer.
Am I edging you?
Yes.
Oh.
As you know, and I swear I'm sorry I keep hitting the table. It's just I'm having such a blast.
We're such good friends.
I'm having such a blast.
You're my
Fuck
friend.
yeah! There goes another microphone, bitch.
So I'm going to start this paragraph over.
No. Okay.
So it was solid black with eyes that seemed to reflect the moonlight. This bat was blacker than the surrounding night sky and was perfectly silhouetted against the moonlit sky. This bat circled the boat 3 times in complete silence before heading off towards Montrose. It quickly blended into the night sky and was gone in seconds.
And then a shower of Mothman jism rained down.
Oh, I was gonna say piss.
That's cool too.
Glowing green.
That's not cool. It's gross.
It's golden shower.
That means it's special.
I could never publish this
One-
episode. It was also worth noting that other witnesses claimed they saw a green object heading north to south at the horizon. Here's another quote. It was not a plane, as it was brilliant green
Wasn't fucking Superman.
and was moving slowly across the horizon. If I had to estimate, but I like to say estimate.
Says local crackhead.
If I had to estimate, man, it was about 2 miles from our position.
Marshmallow Willie.
After the object was out of the sight, we sat there looking around in stunned silence, man, as he continues to scratch his chest because he's a crackhead. I'm kidding. These people aren't crackheads.
a taste? Can I have just a little taste?
I began feeling this overwhelming sensation of dread and told my husband that I felt it was prudent that we get off the water as quickly as...
Fucking
God dang, Vladimir Putin.
goddamn Vladimir Putin's in this again.
What's he doing in West
He's
Virginia?
trying to ruin the
Chicago.
election.
Oh, boy. Where was I at?
I don't know.
Whatever. Point is, she said, to finish it off, I tried to get a picture of the thing as it circled our boat, but all I got was black.
I tried to get a picture of the thing as it circled the boat, but all I got
Was black.
was black.
Uh,
God, we're horrible.
now, this wasn't the only witness.
We're fucking horrible.
This wasn't the only witness on this night. 10:30 p.m. This one's hilarious. Quote, as we talked about work and our families, we heard what sounded like a bird flapping its wings. One of my homies yelled, I'm not kidding, this is a direct quote. One of my homies yelled out that he had saw a huge lechuza over by the road.
A lechuza?
Lechuza is a Mexican myth or like urban legend of an old woman that can turn into a giant black bird. So that's, But same incident. Quote, we walked over there and
I
saw...
have the best. Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Look on my face right now.
Yeah, that's great. We walked over there and saw what looked like a big owl. As we walked up to it, this owl stood up on 2 feet and looked right at us.
And then took a big old shit.
We saw what looked like a huge lechuza. Or lechuza? I don't know. I don't know. I'm white. Except it was about 6 feet tall and really big. It had large, glowing red eyes that were completely freaking everybody out.
Freaking everybody out,
We
man.
all-
Hey, man, look at what's going on, man.
We all yelled, and this thing took off into the air and took off toward North Avenue. This thing freaked us all out and scared all of our kids. End quote.
Yeah.
So this last report comes from the next day, 2 a.m. Right? Quote, it stood there for a minute or two, staring at everyone before shooting up into the sky and disappearing.
Before shooting up.
Into the sky.
Oh, gotcha.
It's shooting up some heroin. It made everyone feel very uneasy. It only took off some guys.
Like when they climbed the rope in gym class.
It made everyone very uneasy and only took off after some guys threw some
My
rocks
pants
at
are
it.
tight.
It had wings on it like an owl, only bigger, and you could hear it flap those wings when it took off. Why do all the Mothman witnesses sound erotic?
Right. Because we made
Flapping
it that
those
way. Because we're
wings.
disgusting. We're disgusting pigs.
It made this sound as it took off and flew away. It flew away that sounded like a
Flapped
truck's
his big old
brakes
trucks.
when they burned out.
What?
It,
Why is-
hold on. It flew up and flew a wide circle, making that sound once more, and then flew off in the direction of the Stevenson Expressway. So his big flapping wings sounded like a truck's brakes.
Flapping wings. I don't know why, but never
Big
before,
old flapping.
Never before has the phrase "big trucks brakes" made me die with laughter or sounded dirty to me. Before just now, you were like, his big flappy wings, trucks brakes, and I'm like, what the fuck are they going on? Wow.
It is very descriptive. He stood around and looked for it for a few minutes, but never came back. I'm reporting this because there's no way this was an owl. It stood upright like a man, just really, really tall. I don't want to discuss this with anyone and would prefer to remain anonymous. I don't imagine anyone would believe
You're the
me
one who wanted to
anyways.
do oh, this is a quote.
Yeah,
okay,
this is still
I was
in the
gonna
quote.
say, I'm like, you're the one who wanted to do fucking Mothman.
One of the
I
guys,
don't want to discuss this anymore.
one of the guys I work with who saw this thing said it made him feel very uneasy like a scared kid, and he was glad someone threw a rock and made it fly away. End quote.
Really? God.
So we're starting to wind down and wrap up the Mothman episode here. So I want to talk about the anatomy of Mothman. He is roughly
As if it's a real thing.
right. He's roughly 7 feet tall and bipedal winged creature. His wings are believed to resemble a bat or bird or both. I don't know. It's covered
Nobody
in
does.
brown or black fur / feathers. This is why I did this, because it's a big joke of like, so nobody, the fact that
Were they like Brillo?
dude, there's a whole like Wikipedia on fandom, like a fandom wiki. Jesus Christ, what a bunch of word salad I just said. There's a whole fandom.
There's a thing on the interweb.
Have you ever used the website fandom
No,
to look up like wikis on shit? Okay, well, anyway.
I mostly know all that stuff because I'm a nerd.
Oh, anyway, shut up. He has his own like fandom page, and there's like legit logistics. See what I did there? Into this. So that's where I got the information that he was 7 foot tall. But the funny thing is that is the one definitive thing they want to provide, and then everything else is he has wings like a bat or a bird or both.
If I had wings
Brown.
I could fly, let me concentrate.
He has brown
I
and
look to
or
the side
black
and
fur,
I see my homie Nate.
feathers. There's also some long talons.
Some desperate head.
Can you act at least a little bit interested?
Yeah. You said something and I went off of that. You're like, with flaps and if I had wings I could fly, let me contemplate. I look to the side and I see my homie Nate.
Yeah. It's a good
16
song.
in the clip and 1 in the hole.
We're gonna get copyright strike.
What?
You're too good. They're gonna copyright claim us. You can't. So Joe,
I am available for children's parties.
the reason we're talking about the anatomy is because some people can explain that, explain away the possible sightings, because there are legitimate like gray feathered tall birds that could look like the Mothman, and
If you're really high
exactly,
or drunk.
or if you're swinging in the woods.
Swinging
The
them
fact that we
bangs.
had two
Got
stories.
bang, time, gets gang bang. What?
The fact that we had 2 stories of multiple couples getting like, oh, we saw the
Freaky
Mothman.
Deaky. And it was like, yeah, we saw the Mothman, all right. Mothman is code name for your boyfriend's butthole.
So Joe Nickel, who we will probably do his own episode because he's like a big skeptic with this stuff.
Who, Rod Nickel?
Joe Nickel.
Oh.
Rod Nickel. So he thinks the original sightings in West Virginia were followed by hoaxes, like construction workers that tied flashlights to helium balloons, which is such a weird thing to say, Joe. Nickel also attributes the sightings to other pranks, plus the barred owl and albino owl. That could be the explanation for it. Maybe they did see a big owl with glowing red eyes because it's an albino.
That's
So that's very possible.
let's not consider the possibility that these people are fucking high or fucked up
But
or in
lastly,
need of some serious
so,
help.
you can probably explain away the sightings. And lastly,
I just don't feel like people are paying enough attention to me. Maybe if I come up with this stupid, dumb story.
I want to end on this. The legacy of Mothman.
The legacy.
So there's no question that Mothman...
A movie?
Mothman has made a huge splash in the very niche cryptid community that exists. I mean, he's got his own movie, book, movie.
In many swinger communities, Mothman refers to your boyfriend's butthole.
I mean, allegedly.
So it's,
Allegedly.
it's become part of the lexicon. It's actually in the Webster's dictionary.
We don't know for sure, but we're going to
I'm
put
gonna put it in
put in the Urban Dictionary.
I'm going to put it in there.
Right in the Mothman.
You better stick it where the sun don't shine in the Mothman.
He put a...
He put it.
You believe that? There was a baseball at my Mothman.
It felt kind of good. Okay, so
Here's a legacy that he's left.
yes,
He's had a very lasting mark on the town of Point Pleasant. He's kind of like
Mark. All right.
he's kind of like their mascot, with his glowing balls and his 10-foot ding dong.
Oh, I thought you were reading it off your sheet, and I was
No,
like, wow,
I mean,
I was right. Huzzah!
but so yeah, they embraced him after all these years,
Okay.
and he's actually pretty famous. He has his own festival in Point Pleasant. So in 2002,
There's not much else to do on Point Pleasant.
I kind of want to go to this. I really do. In 2002, Point Pleasant started the first festival. The reasoning behind it was because of the uniqueness of Mothman. It was a great way to celebrate his local celebrity. And they were like, "Why?" When somebody says, "Hey, let's go to the Rubber Band Museum," you're like, "Whatever, that's stupid." But if somebody says, "Hey, let's go to the Mothman Museum," I'm gonna go to that. Mothman Festival, I'll go to that. just so stupid I
Listen,
might
if
just
we're
go.
going to the Rubber Band Museum and Rubber Band Man is playing,
So according to event organizer Jeff Walmsley, I think is how he said it, the event gets an average of 10 to 12,000 people every year.
That's what he takes the actual people and
feeds them to the Mothman.
No, and he multiplies by about 4,000.
Ah.
You right?
Yeah. The festival is held on the third weekend of September, hosting guest speakers, vendor exhibits, pancake eating contests, and hayride tours of local notable
Because when
areas.
I think of Mothman, I don't think butthole. I think pancake eating contest.
I know it doesn't
Jesus
make any
Christ,
sense.
man. Like you're like, wait a second.
Artist
When
Bob.
I'm at my swinger parties, somebody goes, Mothman, and I'm like, sweet, where's the syrup? And somebody else is like, actually knows what it is and is also saying, sweet, where's the syrup? You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
You can
all
eat
right.
my pancake.
You can eat my Mothman with some syrup.
Artist Bob Roach.
The show is just derailed.
To wrap up.
Wrap up.
I know you wanted to
Too
get.
late.
This is going to be our longest. This might even be longer than the Tiger King
I'm cool
episode.
with that. Fine. That was a disgrace to modern man.
What, Tiger King?
Yeah.
So artist Bob Roach created the Mothman.
Mothman.
I'm the Mothman.
Motherfucker. Hey, motherfucker.
Fucking Mothman gets roided out. I'm the Mothman now.
Mothman. Check out my glowing red nutsack. Anybody knew a Slim Jim? Okay, so you've completely lost your minds.
Bob Roach.
Bob-a-doo.
We just made jazz. Artist Bob Roach.
Honest Bob Roach. I
Artist-
love that guy. He's friends with
So
Larry
Bob Roach,
Gunblade.
what a fucking guy Bob Roach is. He made a statue of Mothman in 2003.
Close friends of Larry Gunblade.
Well, Gunblade actually gets a lot of traffic from the Mothman Festival. So shortly
What
after...
do you mean I can't buy a gun and a blade?
I want to shoot the damn Mothman. Sir, why would you want to shoot a hole in some pancakes?
Or a butthole.
Jesus Christ.
We've lost it.
All right.
Okay. So,
2005, they made a museum dedicated to him, the Mothman Museum and Research Center.
it was a really good investment.
I guess. And that is how we wrap up the Mothman Cometh, episode 14 of Tinfoil Radio.
Ew.
Look, I get it. Mothman doesn't intrigue Tyler that much.
No, I think we had fun with it.
He interested
I had
me
fun.
because of all the giant, scary-looking creatures. Why a moth?
Yeah.
You know, that's what gets me about Mothman. I mean, the Men in Black stuff is the most interesting part of this story because it gives you a glimpse into what the Men in Black really are, and it's not at all like the comic book or the Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones movie.
No.
So,
in fact, it's very dark.
that's why maybe we're planning probably one or two. It'll probably be 2 episodes, but it's interesting flip on things. Tyler, why don't you tell them?
Yes. So next week, kind of along the lines, because I was reading the rundown that you gave me, and it intrigued me, so I went and hunted down some stuff online about Men in Black, and I knew about the comic book beforehand. And first things first, though, in 2 weeks, okay, we're going to go from this to Men in Black, which was a Hollywood movie, even though it wasn't, the same. So it's kind of Men in Black is going to bridge from our normal episodes into a special episode in 2 weeks, a special cinema version of Tinfoil Radio. We're going to watch and we're going to talk about and we're going to discuss the conspiracy theories inherent in not just the actual story of Dr. Strangelove by Stanley Kubrick, but also the conspiracies around the actual making of the movie and such things like that. So when you think about it, we're really going to kick some ass.
So yeah, I don't know if Men in Black will be 1 or 2 episodes, but
We could probably get in with one.
well, there's so much to it. There's so much. Well, here's what anyway, Tyler's going to be doing more research, so I'm going to be in Tyler's position. Looking
which means our
looking
episodes
right
are
at-
going to be about 20 minutes long.
Yeah, I'm looking right down the Mothman.
You need to clean your Mothman a little more.
You know what? You're right.
You know what works really good? Is them flushable wipes.
Oh, we got them on deck, buddy.
Boom.
Everybody's talking about this pandemic with the toilet paper. I'm like, flushable wipes. That's where you go. Or get a bidet.
Well, no, but I think there's
So we'll see. Well,
There's
the
some
point-
fun stuff with the Men in Black. Will be fun.
And we could do a deep dive of Men in Black.
And I
but
think
if
we're
you want to
gonna
do
teach you some
something,
things you didn't know, because especially if you're in the movies,
right? Well, and
you're gonna be like, what?
and that's the thing is we can do. We'll start to work that out more of whether or not we want to do a deep dive, because it could be something like with Flat Earth where we do an episode on it and then we come back to it later, because there's so much to Men in Black. It's crazy. So, anyway, we'll do it that way then. We'll just see how we go. And Doctor Strangelove. So back-to-back weeks. Tyler's going to be taking the reins.
I have such.
I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm just glad I don't have to do any research.
I love you so much.
All I have to do is watch Doctor Strangelove.
Yeah, a couple times. It's on. By the way, folks, if you stream, I believe it's on. Look this up, but I think it's on. I want to say the Roku channel, or maybe like Crackle or Tubi or something like that. But it's on one of those free streaming channels right now. I just watched it again last night, and that's what prompted me to go, hey, we should do Doctor Strangelove. So we'll see you again in a week. We'll be back, hopefully. Some people think that this is almost over, but
Who knows? So yeah, we hope we can be a little distraction from all the sad stuff.
yeah. And
that's
please,
going on.
also don't forget, you literally send us 4 things or pictures of. Send us 4 pictures, pictures of things, or whatever, and we'll make up a conspiracy just for you based off those pictures or your words or your phrases that you send to us.
Mm-hmm.
We are literally begging you. Not really, but we think it would be really, really fun if you guys just send us a bunch of like combinations of things and we spend an episode just doing like the funniest ones that we could think of. Because we're funny.
Yeah. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at
Not that part, but
at Tinfoil Radio. Goodness gracious. Tinfoil_radio is where you can find us on Twitter. You can find me at Lumberjake5150. I had to think about my Twitter handle for a second. Follow Tyler, I guess. Made in Thailand. Figure that one out.
MADE_IN_TYLAND.
Yeah. And you can follow the other podcasts I do, Loud Sports, Loud and Opinionated. We get that's kind of the podcasting network that it's under. So even though there's only 2 shows.
No.
Alrighty. So
Special.
thanks for listening to another
I had
episode.
fun this week. It was good.
Oh yeah, you sure? Seemed like you were very against the Mothman.
You know what? Listen, once I got a good peek at your Mothman, I was
It changes everybody's
oh
mind.
boy,
And we were talking about.
that's the deepest Mothman I've ever seen.
I was talking about pancakes.
Oh.
Well, remember, if you've heard this,
Either way, break out the syrup.
if you've heard this,
You're already dead.
we're already dead. Actually, no, wait.
No, you're.
No, hold on. I forgot to tell
We
you.
just saw Mothman.
I have a surprise for you. I made a very special outro just for
Ooh.
this episode.
Roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road.
What is my problem?
We'll see you next week.